Hi everybody, welcome back to the channel. This is my car, but it's not my garage. My garage is up there. So what I'm doing is, I'm going to put this car in another shell, which isn't here. Not a rolling shell. So I've got this car, and I'm going to take the axles off, put it on the shell, roll it, get it painted, and then I'm going to smash that car into the new shell, and then maybe do something else with that car. So at the moment what I'm doing is I'm taking off this rear axle. You've got to loosen these bolts here, nuts and bolts. Take off all the gubbins behind here. Take the suspension out, which take that top nut off there. Take that top nut off. Take that cup off. Loosen that. Done the same this side. Start to loosen that one. I'm going to have to compress the springs. The springs are just pushed down on that, and basically I don't want it pushed down on that just yet until I've dismantled the back of the hubs. So yeah, I'll post an update when I'm done. So I'm back working on the Polo again. This is the donor car. Bonnet's off, a few bits and pieces have been taken off. Rear axle's off now. Pretty easy, it's only held on by 2 bolts, which are here, one this side, one that side. It's obviously flipped that way. Well, it's flipped that way. Normally it would be on like that, but I just turned it around. Easy of access. You've got to disconnect the brake lines, and you've also got to disconnect the ABS. So historically, ABS line connects in there, and they're a bit of a pig to take out because it's an Allen bolt. I'm trying to get a better view. It's an Allen bolt there, and these plastic bits just get stuck. So sorry about the light. Yeah, they just get stuck because they're plastic into metal. So you can just actually pull out the whole cable from there, and that goes in underneath the rear passenger seat, and there's another one on the passenger side, and there you go, there's the brake line just hanging down. There's where the axle bolts into the car's chassis, and there's another brake line. That's where they bolt on. And then you've got, well, the suspension, which bolts onto here, and the suspension's sat over there. So that's that all done. So I'm going to the front, and I'm going to drop the subframe. That's a bit more complicated because you've got to disconnect the shaft. It's the drive shaft here, which runs all the way up to the gearbox, track rod end. Disconnect that again, drop the suspension down, and then you've got these bolts here that hold the subframe up to the chassis. So there's 2 on each side. First time I've ever done this. I might have to take that out as well. So first time I've ever done it, so it's probably going to be a lot more difficult than I'm making it sound, but yeah, it's got to be done, so let's get going. So yeah, I've also started, I've removed all the arch liners, started to remove the bumper, take this wing off. I was going to use it on the GTi, but they're different because the sills are different on the GTi. This is just a 6N, well, it's a 6N2 but it's only a 1.4, so it's got different sills. I don't need the wings, but that's the indicator. Beep, 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 beep. It's there. Indicator out. Engine cover off. This unit off, battery out. Engine cover over there. Bonnet on the roof. And arch liners. Better get a move on, really. Watch the space. So the track rod ends are off. You basically undo this nut, and then I had to use this jack to push up the bottom of the bolt through that, and then get a mallet and a cold chisel to batter down on there to release it, because I was hitting it up with a hammer from underneath, and it wasn't budging. So basically jacked up on there with a bottle jack. I had to raise that off the floor using a bit of wood, and I just jacked up, and then that popped out. Literally just popped out. And then obviously, because you're jacking up on here, the spring compresses, and then the whole thing wants to pop down, so you just got to be careful when you're doing that. I could have just bought a ball joint splitter. I mean, judging by the condition under here, it's rusty. I don't think these have ever been changed. Yeah, so it's a bit of a mess, but we'll get there. So we're going to start by undoing these three. They're 14 socket, and then this one, which is attached to the gearbox, is a 16. Probably going to undo these as well. Let's say, I don't think these have ever been changed. They're well rusty. This side's even worse. I'm not keeping these anyway. This is only for this is a donor to get the shell moving that I've bought. But if the subframe's not looking too bad, so I might just keep a hold of that. So here we are. There ain't much space. The things we do, I need a ramp. So I'm sat down. This is a nice easy job. I've been under the car this afternoon, and I've taken out the swing arm bolts, but they also hold part of the subframe on at the back. Swing arm bolts are mounted through there. I've taken them out, both driver and passenger side, and now what I'm doing is disconnecting the drive shaft from the gearbox. It is a 8mm spline bit, and I've got this, it's just a bar. I've also got the ratchet. Actually, this is a bit better this side. On the other side, it's a longer drive shaft, so you've got a bit further to reach, and you can only do it from underneath. They're all loose now. Get my hand in. Oh, can't get my hand in. I'll move that away. They are loose, as you can see. And they should just come off. There we go. And that basically disconnect the drive shaft from the gearbox. There's the nuts, bolts. Willow, you come and say hello? Willow, Willow. The dog's just come in, but she's not interested. What's this? Willow. Well, hello. Hello. What are we doing? Ah, there we go. Next door's cat was in the garden, so she got a little bit excited. Fly. But anyway, I'm going to get on with taking the drive shaft out. And then move on to the next side. You can see, let me just move that light a little bit. Can you see that? You can see it's actually come away in the gearbox now. So I'm going to drop the subframe as a whole unit eventually, and that should just drop off.
Thinking back, I could have just done the hub nuts. It would have been a lot easier. But
over on the other side of the car, the driver's side, so that's the bolts that go into the bottom of the swing arm. They basically go in there. Rear of the subframe. So that's the rear of the subframe there. It's your swing arm, drive shaft, and then it's your that's your main subframe mount. Bolt there. So there's two of these, one each side. They're out. And as I said, the drive shaft, you can see it there, is a bit further back because where the gearbox is situated, gearbox is basically sat in front of the passenger side, so the engine's in the middle, gearbox is in behind the passenger, and yeah, the access, I mean, I'll get a few extension bars on that just to undo and then drop it out, and that'll be that. Nice and easy. So I'm back under the car again because it's easier to get access to the other side of the gearbox, but I'll just show you what I'm doing. So there you go. There it is there. And oh god, I'm trying to not get in the way of the light and be able to see what I'm looking at the same time. Nah, that's rubbish. So there we go. That is basically the end of the drive shaft. It runs all the way out there. It's loose. Just need to get these bolts out. Oh, still on the floor. Next, I'm on to taking the exhaust manifold off. Exhaust manifold there. 1, 2, 3, 4 bolts. I've sprayed some WD-40 on to loosen it up. And well, yeah. Got the ratchet on it. An extender bar and a big bar to give me some leverage. There you go, that's what it looks like. Get the ratchet on it to make it a bit easier once they're loosened off. That's the exhaust manifold off. So now I just need to come on, focus. Now I just need to knock it out there. This will come off. And then where is it? These bolts here, and then that the subframe should drop. Oh, and I got the 3 nuts on top of the suspension that hold it into the what's that bit called?
strut tower, mate.
I'm not entirely sure what the suspension strut housing, and then the whole thing should just drop down. I'll put the jack. I'll put the jack in the middle, which is about here, and yeah, just support it so it doesn't actually drop. I'll just lower it down slowly. I need to get off this fucking floor. So I'm back onto the top, and we've got to remove these covers. Stick a screwdriver in there, they pop off. They do have these little clips on the underside here. 1, 2, we've got 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and they just clip on underneath this. This is loose because I'd already taken these out. It's a 13mm socket. 3 on each side, and that's basically what holds it onto the top of the strut tower. And that is literally just going to come straight out when I remove that bolt there. So what I'm going to do is get the jack, bring it round, run over all my tools whilst I'm at it, and I'm just going to support the subframe from underneath. There, I've removed the exhaust. That's what you can see lying on the floor over there. Still connected to the
lambda sensor.
I'm not sure what that sensor is. Jack this up slowly on the middle of the subframe. And there we go. So that'll hold it whilst I undo these. And I've loosened this one off already. So I'm just going to get the ratchet on it. And there we go. Bolt that is holding the subframe on. Let's go around to the other side. Right, so I'm around the other side now. And it's just the same again. I'm going to stick the extender bar on it with the longer bar just to loosen it off. It will be tight. That's a tap. Get it on. Oh, Jesus. Fucking hell, that's tight. Right, we'll get the ratchet on now that that's loosened off. Oh, there we go. That one's not looking too clever. It's a bit flat and a bit rusty in places. So one of the things I was going to say, there's a captive nut. I'll show you. Well, you can't see it, but I can point to it. There's a captive nut in behind there, and if they become loose or they're not captive anymore, they just spin inside. So you can't take this bolt out. And you can see the state of that bolt. It's rusty, so bad. But yeah, that's now loose. only been held up by the jack. So we'll drop that now, and that should hopefully all come down. Fingers crossed. I'm gonna just release this now, and actually I'm going to move some of the tools first. Right, let's get this down. Ooh. Well, for whatever reason it's not coming down. I'll have to try and figure out what's wrong with it. So in my haste to lower it down, I'd forgot to undo the brake lines, which you can see there. It's not going to go far, and that's still connected. So I'm going to do that now. Pardon me. That is it. That's that undone now. Remove that. That'll just pop out on its own. It's still not dropping. Let's have a look, see what's going on. I'm not fucking getting under there. Let's have a look. Well, it would appear I've missed a bit. So there's like an arm in the middle that goes forward. I didn't know it was there, so that needs to be disconnected. Fucking hell, I'm sweating. Well, it's getting on. It's 11:15, so I'm going to call it a night and come back at this tomorrow, I think.
So I didn't record taking the subframe off, I just had to get on with it, and then I loaded it all up in the van to take it across to the shell to get it rolling.
So with a twist of fate, I'm out with a Polo on a beautiful rural country lane. It's jacked up because I pulled out of a junction just around the corner and I managed to batter the curb. I don't know what I was doing, and basically that happened. Yeah, I made a good job of that. I also totally burst the drive shaft when I bumped that curb. So yeah, done a good one. Yeah, don't ask me what I was doing. So here I am on a lovely farm. Look at that background. Why am I on a farm? Well, this is the third piece of the puzzle. Polo number 3. This is the shell that I've bought to replace my Polo. So big up to Pete's Polos over in over the border in Wales. Well, he breaks them, and I've been pestering him for a decent shell for a while, so I bought this one off him. Cells are tip top, no rust on the underneath, body's alright, obviously no axles, so hence why I bought the other Polo to put the axles on this to make it roll. So here we are at I don't know, 8:30 at night, getting this thing rolling so that I can take it back to Wales and get it sprayed by my good mate Simon, who's going to do me a solid by giving this a proper coat. What colour do you think I should do? Not black. There's only one tiny little on the body, which is little crease, but that'll get sorted. Doors are tidy. Obviously the wing mirrors are going. There is one thing that's not so great, lacquer peel on the roof, but that's all going to get done. And interior wise, well, there's the front bumper, dashboard, 5p, footrest, bits and pieces. No gearbox, nothing. So that's the project. Let me know what you think, folks. Am I mad, or you want to just keep another Polo on the road? Oh, and you will have seen what I fucking done to my own Polo. Smashed into a curb. Don't know why, don't know how. Pulled out of a junction. Curb. Yeah. It's not going to do itself. Big engine to go in there. What should we put in? My brother-in-law wants me to do an R32. He's off his fucking head. I think it'll be a 1.6 for the time being. Maybe not, we'll see. Thanks for watching the video, folks. If you liked it, give us a thumbs up, subscribe, send out a message to those, well, to your mates, come and watch my videos. Watch me making one Polo out of 3 Polos. Cheers.